Welcome to Big Blend Radio's Adventures in Asheville show, featuring Steve and Karen Wilson, owners and innkeepers of the Lion and the Rose Bed and Breakfast. Welcome, everyone, to our Adventures in Asheville show, and this is part of our Healing After Hurricane Helene series. We took this show, which is monthly, every first Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, to weekly, and the other normal days, or I should say every Tuesday is at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Today, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, because it's our regular schedule. And of course, we do this show with Steve and Karen Wilson. We call them Mr. and Mrs. Wild of Asheville. They own and operate the Lion and the Rose Bed and Breakfast, which is right in the heart of the historic Montfort district. And this district is home to over 600 historic buildings, including their bed and breakfast, which is from the 1800s. It is a beautiful Victorian inn, and it was actually the very first bed and breakfast in the district. And you can go to lion-rose.com to check it out. But welcome back, Steve. How are you doing?
Hey, doing good. How about you?
Doing good. How about you, Karen? How are you doing, Mrs. Wild?
Doing good. We're making progress, so every bit helps, right?
Yeah, I heard this morning, right before the podcast recording, you got a dumpster. I don't know what it says about the show, but you got a dumpster, which is good news. When, this is like how things change in life. Suddenly we're talking about dumpster deliveries on, our travel show here, but that's a good thing. Stuff. Yeah. So that's, you're dumping. That's good. It's a good thing.
We can get rid of the landfill we had up in the front.
Oh, yeah. That's, well, it makes you feel better, right? To not have that and
absolutely
of devastation. But, I know that you've been working really hard at the inn, removing the trees that fell on it. So it's there, but you have sustained damage, which is more damage than expected. I know when the hurricane first happened, we got together and started the Healing After Helene online event. Everyone, you're going to hear some more poetry and book readings and music at the end of this episode from that event. And you can, check out the links to everything in the episode notes, including the original event. So you can check that out. Because it's really good to hear those messages of hope, even though it's been weeks after, to actually hear everyone come together, even though people had to do all kinds of things to even be able to call in, So, so that's good stuff. But before we bring our guests on, I also want people to know that last week you kicked off your GoFundMe campaign, and it looks like you're getting some support, but you need a lot more. So y'all check out that link in the episode notes, right? So that's really helping you with getting repairs done now so you can open, right, Karen? That's really the most important thing for you is, getting people to help you, open and do repair work. Is that the hard part
exactly.
too?
It is. That's why we've been waiting a few days on a dumpster. I guess they're hard to come by, and who would ever say, geez, I hope I get a dumpster today. That's where we've been.
Oh my gosh. Go fund me so I can get a dumpster. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, and insurance takes time. FEMA, all that stuff is just so slow to move that,
it is.
Yet you need to. So it's the innkeeper's quarters that needs help, so you guys can move back in. And sadly, you guys lost a lot of personal belongings. And then you have a room and a parlor, one of the parlors that needs restoration, right? So everyone, again,
hopefully
check
this
out
week.
That link. Yeah. More dumpsters, people. Yeah. More dumpsters. Speaking of that, things are opening, and there are restaurants opening. I've got a link in there. There's parks opening. The Biltmore is open. The North Carolina Arboretum is open, and parts of the Blue Ridge Parkway are opening. Roads are makeshift roads are opening, which is amazing. Right. So we've got links to the parks, restaurants that are open up on the site as well, with the episode notes. Our next guest, I want to bring Jay Schultz back on. He is an amazing photographer. He is the owner of Spartan Photography. He does a lot of wedding work, drone work, and you can go to his website, spartanphotography.zenfolio.com. He came on the first of these new series of Healing After Helene podcasts, and to share photos and also tell stories of what he has seen roaming around Western North Carolina and beyond. And the first time we talked, it was sad and with some positive stories. But I think Jay has been seeing some, amazing positive stories out there. So welcome back, Jay. How are you?
I'm doing much better.
Good. Are you seeing better things out there? Better recovery, like more recovery? Because last time we were talking about helicopters and mules. So now we've got crews out there doing stuff. And we talk about big trucks with big water pipes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been crazy out there. And the craziness for me is just seeing how quickly things are starting to get back to normal because, just if you'd have seen what some of these places looked like a day or two after the waters receded and just the pure chaos, to see where we're at a month later with the community just coming together. And I mean, I can't discount the amount of help that, FEMA and our state and county and city representatives have done for us. But I have to highlight the fact that we have good people here in Western North Carolina that are hard working people because some of this stuff is backbreaking work. And there's no way that it could have got done as fast as it did if these people didn't just pick up a shovel and start working.
Yeah, it is backbreaking work when you think about it. And you're in the mountains and it's getting cold out there too, man. It's fall in the mountains. So it's, Chimney Rock and Lake Lure, that's a story that, I've been watching all the time and it's amazing to see people get together, to do things and clear that road. And, at Chimney Rock, I mean, as soon as I saw what happened in the bridge and the master gardeners are going out on the flowering bridge and cleaning up and they found like some blooms and some, relics from from before. And it's just like, it's amazing to see flowers bloom after this. You're just like,
I know.
You see a flower and you just start crying because it's like, the garden will prevail,
Yes.
I know. It's an emotional time. I want to bring our next guest on the show. Nicole is from Asheville Wellness Tours. Nicole will, and you can go to AshevilleWellnessTours.com. And we're not going to totally talk about goat yoga today, but I think she understands the power of like helping bring balance back to this entire region, and as visitors, but also the locals. Nicole, I see that you do have some, you're open, which is awesome. And you do have some offerings there, but I believe everyone needs some wellness right now. Wouldn't you say, Nicole? Welcome back.
Thank you. Hi, nice to be back. And absolutely, I agree. And I think an important element to that is lighthearted wellness, a little bit of joy and laughter too, because wellness can be a really heavy topic, or, we can approach it in heavy ways, or we can seek it because something is heavy is happening in our lives. But just a reminder that tending to our well-being can also be fun and rejuvenating. And I do agree that that's incredibly important right now.
I agree. I mean, humor is, I mean, Steve and Karen and Jay, you guys have gone out and done like Halloween parties and things like that amidst the drama. It's like, we got to go get some kind of relief. If it's music, I know you guys are out there. If it's beer, you're out there, but you need to have some kind of happiness in there to keep going, and humor helps. That's why comedians, to me, comedians and musicians are like everything. We need the comedy, man. And it's hard when it's weird times. I remember Saturday Night Live, when 9/11
It used to be funny.
Well, back in the day, here we go. Here we go.
The 80s was the stuff that was,
Yeah. Well, then, that was really funny. And it's all about Steve Martin, okay? Like if Steve Martin,
exactly.
We need the Jerk. Everybody needs to watch the Jerk right now. That's key. But yeah, I mean, I remember like after 9/11, everyone was like, when can we start making jokes about this? Not to be cruel, but we need to laugh. We need to shed that. So Nicole, thank you. I'm going to be thinking about Steve Martin. And right after this, I know I have another podcast recording, but I'm going to go watch that one segment with him in the telephone book and in the telephone booth when we have those. So, Nicole, yeah. So what are you doing for laughter? Are you making everyone laugh when they come in? You need Jay. He's a comedian.
There you go.
I don't think that I'm a very funny person, but yeah, I mean, we are working really hard to bring goat yoga back. I think that that's a joyful experience. The things that we do open, our team, just everyone is ready to welcome everyone else with open arms and warm spirits and lighthearted spirits. Right now we're offering yoga classes. We had a sound bath last night at the Restoration Hotel.
Very nice.
Really lovely.
Oh, wow. So you're moving around. Yeah, because you're a tour company. So you're moving around and going to different places. So like when Steve and Karen are open, can you, go there and do a tarot reading?
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's one of the beautiful things about our business. And a unique thing is that we're flexible and remote and mobile. In a lot of ways, we're very lucky not to have a physical structure. My heart goes out to everybody who is working on that. I mean, we were just talking about the personal losses, the business losses. And a lot of our team members have experienced those personal losses, and trying to support them throughout this time by giving them opportunities to work, which is what they love to do. They love to share these experiences with people. And so that is my main focus now.
And there's, I know I saw that you were also doing forest bathing, and we actually did a show just on forest bathing. I should have called you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
This forest bathing is cool. And I think right now is like a really good time to do it because it kind of reconnects with nature. Whereas I know there could be anger at nature doing this, right? But we're kind of part of this natural concept, right? So it's kind of like a reconnection to, unplug to replug with nature,
Absolutely.
So where are you taking people for that?
As trails reopen, we're tailoring locations to the group. We are in Pisgah mostly at this time. We are hoping to return to the Arboretum in early 2025. So Arboretum is open now, but a lot of their trails are still clearing trees. So it's primarily the curated gardens that are open. So anyway, early 2025, we'll be back at the Arboretum, and for now we're mostly in Pisgah.
Okay, but that's cool. Good. And Looking Glass Falls is open again, right? Isn't that road open to it now?
It is.
Awesome.
I believe so, yeah.
That's nice. That's nice that people can do that, actually get through these roads. And Jay, what have you seen in regards to actual roads open? I mean, that story with Chimney Rock with, and it was just, wasn't it just like a bunch of volunteers came and said, was it the Cajun Navy? Was it who did that? Who did that road? I don't know, but a bunch of volunteers.
Coal miners, right, Steve?
Yeah, miners.
Yeah, from West Virginia, from what I heard.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I'd be interested to hear from Jay. I think he shut down, or is he back? He's back. You never know. He might be climbing a telephone pole with his drone.
Sorry about that.
He's a lineman. Jay, any of the roads, have you seen that kind of thing with roads opening up, more than before? Like any of that kind of restoration?
Like, 221 and, out in the eastern side of western North Carolina near Boone. That road was very much damaged, and it's a difficult repair because it's on the side of a mountain. And the fact that they have that road open now is just, again, it's dump truck after dump truck after dump truck, like an unbelievable number of trucks bringing gravel and dirt and stuff into to try to bolster that back up again so they can pave it. But it just happens so quickly, and you just got modern marvels. I just don't even, I can't wrap my head around how people can plan this and execute it and get it done so quickly.
It is amazing. I'm glad to hear it. wanting, travelers to come back in. And that's the thing.
Yeah, the 26 is open now too, up by Irwin. They up one of the lanes over the
one lane through Tennessee.
So,
yep.
Yeah,
where that was
river,
pretty dead. Pretty bad.
I can't remember the name of the river, but it's a mouthful.
I think even 40 started to get fixed, right? Didn't they get 40 onto one lane as well for people?
They're working on it. Working on it, as far as I heard.
I-40 is still closed
on
the Tennessee-North Carolina border.
Okay. Nicole, have you seen non-locals come in, and have you worked with anyone coming from, out of the area that is visiting Asheville?
We are starting to process some requests. We do have a couple of private group yoga classes this weekend. We did go ahead and cancel all of October. We canceled most of what we had already on the books in November. Just the idea of encouraging folks to visit at first, was not responsible. Now it's an interesting thing, as I was talking about trying to support this team of people who want to work in our primary guests are visitors to our community. It's about trying to find a balance. How do we do that responsibly? And honestly, I believe that tour operators and smaller personal accommodation providers, like Land in the Rose, we're really uniquely set up to help visitors navigate our area in a very responsible, respectful way. I think that it's more important than ever to, if you are coming into the community, to seek out that local connection, consider the tour operators. If you wouldn't normally take a tour, there are quite a few who are open, and let the locals show you and guide you through what is appropriate and respectful at the time, because that is changing hourly sometimes.
Right.
That's a really good point. I mean, you guys know the area, and the one thing is, I think a lot of travelers don't want to be in the way. They want to support, but they don't want to be in the way. So, and that again, we were stressing this last time, helping, folks like the Lion and the Rose with their GoFundMe helps them get back on their feet, which means they can start helping and feeding the economy again. Right. Helping, tour companies and places, like the cottage cooking classes and doing gift certificates. That is one way. Like if you look at, you don't want to come and be in the way. We know the holidays, the elections. We didn't want to talk about that, but all that kind of stuff kind of gets in the way. And at the same time, it buries these stories, and we don't want that to happen. Right. I know the elections and all of that are important, but we don't want, that's why we're doing this every week, is we want people to hear the progress. We want people to hear what needs are out. What are the needs? How can we help? What can we do? And travel, it's always important to be a responsible traveler, because you are part of the community when you visit. You're part of the community on your way there. Each community you stop at and buy gas or plug your car in, however you're doing that, that you are becoming part of that community, and you are contributing. But every time we go somewhere, we're also taking resources, right? So it's important. I love what Nicole's saying, and just want to add on. Gift certificates are like amazing. If you can purchase gift certificates now and use them in the new year, in the early new year, I think that is an awesome way to support, because you're essentially helping.
Agree.
And, some of us have to offload money before, the end of the year, so why donations help, things like that. Some of us have those joys of, I better get rid of cash. Okay. Well, here's your way. Just saying.
We accept it. We'll accept.
Yes. I mean, look how much money all these politicians have racked in for ads that just, attack each other. Let's put money into something that is actually concrete, which is into an infrastructure of communities throughout the Southeast that need it. So gift certificates, I believe, in the GoFundMes, that's going directly to a business, to a person, to a nonprofit that's doing some good, right? And so that's what I really think is a way to do it. And then if you do go and you come now, because, some people are wanting to come, like if you're on traveling from, Virginia to South Carolina, why not stop in an area so you can support? But if you spend the night, do like the small lodgings, because again, it's responsible. You're helping a small business like Steve and Karen. It's them. This is a small family business, and, it's also their home. So you're helping people and a business and the economy. But I love the idea, Nicole, like you're saying, the tour guides, you guys know the back roads, you know where the goats are.
We do.
That's an important one.
Yeah. I mean, and I'll say on the gift certificate side, people who have booked trips, they say, I don't know when I'm coming in 2025, but I'd love to the deposit. Just that kindness has brought us speakers almost every time, or people who have canceled, some of the trips that we had to cancel in October, they said, you know what? Please keep the trip deposit. Please keep my trip amount. And it's critical to have that support right now through the winter. I just know for sure, and I feel it in my bones, if we can all make it through this winter, we will reemerge, not only survive, but thrive as we reemerge in the spring. And so it is pretty urgent, at least in the hospitality sector. And I'm sure for a lot of other people, right now is the time that is most important. So, we set up a GoFundMe as well. There are a lot of businesses in Asheville. That's where a lot of the support is requested now, like you're saying, for the local economy. And I say all the time, we're a people business. We're not a product business. We're a people business. And supporting the small businesses is the way to support the people.
Yeah, the GoFundMes are important because the insurance takes 10 years. And it's hard. It gets wonky. It's wonky. And Asheville is one of those places where they just like, oh, this kind of stuff never happens. And the insurance companies, jump on that, and they're using it. So, I'm not there. So I'm allowed to say this, it's really difficult. But Nancy and I have been on the other side of this in wildfires and, lost a lot, and our friends even more. And it's what we had to go through. We actually just ended up packing it in and leaving where we were, which is sad, but so many houses were burned down that people actually needed to live there for their kids to go to school and things like that. And so we have the ability, as we all know now, to travel anywhere. But it's hard. And when you're a people business, like you say, Nicole, it's like they don't even think you're a business. It's like,
absolutely,
if you don't have products you've lost, well, who cares?
Right.
And that's not true.
It's not true. Yeah. No. It's been our biggest challenge in seeking support. Just we're slipping through a lot of cracks. And we're trying, my team has a lot of heart. We're trying very hard to be creative, but the physical damage is to their homes and they're trying to navigate that without income coming in. Right. And it's about 75% of the revenue that comes into Asheville Wellness Stores that goes back into the hands of locals, the facility.
Wow.
Which I'm very happy about and proud of in normal times. And now it's making it a little bit challenging to fit into the boxes that different grants or loans need us to fit in. So, I mean, a shout out to anybody who's offered any support to a small business in Asheville in this past month and a half. You're truly, your efforts are priceless. Your gestures are priceless.
I second that. Means
absolutely.
So much.
Yeah, for sure. So this is a plea, please, I feel like James Brown, please. Jay, I wanted to ask you, because I know you do a lot of photography for weddings, so that's got to also have impacted you.
I don't do as much with weddings anymore. The business is kind of, I've switched gears. I try to adapt my drone photography to whatever, is needed out in the marketplace. And, with all the trees down on houses and damaged things, I'm actually working with a company called Bees 360 to provide insurance inspections that are safe by using my drone. So you don't have to get up on the roof to do that. So everybody has to innovate, I think, in a time of crisis
Mm-hmm.
to figure out how to help the situation.
Sure.
So, and still feel, it's when you have so many people that have lost their homes, their lives, their livelihood, it can sometimes feel a little bit like survivor's guilt when you do find a way to continue making money. But at the same time, I know that I'm helping people, with their claims. We're processing them faster for people. They're getting the data collection sometimes can bog down. There's only one adjuster in an area, and they may flex some people to that area to go out and collect the data. But there's just so much that to be able to be a part of that and help people get insurance money in their pockets faster, for me, helps, justify the fact that I'm able to kind of shift gears a little bit. But doing a lot of photography and even videography, which I've not been doing a lot in the past, the videography part is starting to kick up, just because the videos are a little bit more telling for creating context of how beautiful this area is and how devastating some of the damage is to not just historic buildings, but topography and landscapes that are iconic in this area, like the Blue Ridge Parkway. It's, being able to tell that story with more video has actually prompted me to, kind of transition again into more video and purchase more equipment to make those stories available to people that aren't from this area.
I think it's really important. It also, I just want to say this for the future, because things do happen, and I'm not trying to be crazy. But I've learned from a friend who's in the insurance industry that when you move into place or you get a big purchase, video it. So it has a timestamp on it, video the receipt, the paperwork, video it before anything happens, and then save it. There's a place, I interviewed this gentleman, WorthPoint. I'll look this up as we talk, where it saves your collectibles, like if you have collectible artwork and antiques and things, to have all of this, and it saves it. And he's rescued things from dumpsters. I hate to say this, but it's true. Like some even, congressional papers from the 1800s and things. Oh, wow. He's saved. Yeah, because they were going to just dump. They're like, oh, it's just an old book. Yeah. He's like, no, stop it. But to have this work that what Jay's doing before a disaster done, when it comes to the insurance, you have evidence that is time-stamped and not, messed with. This is it. And you keep it up to date. Anytime you add something, if you do repairs to your home, your business, anything significant should be documented. And then after that, then you call Jay again. So Jay, I'm just saying you have a whole new big business. As people rebuild and get things fixed, you need to call Jay, because you need to do it there and then again. And anytime you get a major repair done, have that documented. And video, that's where it takes out, you can Photoshop things, right? And you can do it on video, but this is really honest, especially, Jay, isn't that part of it? It's like really showing not just the context, but it's like a true documentation that people can't mess with as much.
Yeah, it's really difficult to digitize AI for video still. It takes a lot of computing power, whereas images, the AI is very much caught up with that. So I think that, you're going to see a bigger, especially in the next couple of years, you're going to see people that are looking for those videos as proof rather than just a static image. And so I totally echo and agree with what you're saying. And it's totally worth it to, spend, $100 or a couple $100 to, have something that will prove to your insurance company that it was in the state it was in when you purchased it, and show the difference.
And then you're using a third party, which is Jay, so that gives even more credibility. So that website I was telling you is worthpoint.com. It's actually one of the top 10 busiest websites in the country.
Wow.
If not the world, yes.
Interesting.
Sorry, one of the top 1,000. that's still really big. That has over 300,000 visits a day. That's pretty amazing.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it's about, keeping everything safe. And, cause he went through things, hurricane wise in Southern Florida years ago. And he went, okay, that's it. We're going to make this happen. So, and even having the images of something you may have lost will help when it's safe somewhere. He wants to do like an online museum. So I love this. In closing, I want to go back to Nicole. Nicole, so there's tarot readings. We've got sound baths, mobile massages. That's a big one. That's got to be, and private yoga classes. So everyone, AshevilleWellnessTours.com. Is your GoFundMe there for people?
It will be after this call.
Okay, and send me the link. I'll put it in the episode notes after this, okay? But the mobile massage, I think that's something epic for folks to have too, and just release some tension. And
absolutely.
I will say we can do, for anyone who wants to invite a little bit of Asheville in and they're not ready to come to the community, we can do virtual tarot readings, sound bath, and forest bathing. So,
wow.
Cool.
And it will be additional to you.
Hey, listen, it's almost the new year. Everybody needs a tarot reading for New Year.
That's right. That's
right. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we have any more full moons coming? I mean, I'm just saying. And you just have to have the Joker card as the background for this. Assume background.
We're taking the Tower card out of the deck.
I was going to say, are you going to take that out?
Okay.
That freaks everybody out. But yeah, the Tower card, like everybody's freaked out because it's like the representation of destruction and death. Yeah. But you have to remember, through destruction and devastation comes rebirth and renewal.
I love that.
Just as bad as it is now, it can only get better because you are at the worst point. Awesome. So it can only move up, and flowers bloom in manure. See, I watch my language.
Love it.
So it all gets better. It all gets better. Everyone, again, look in the episode notes. I want to thank you all for joining us and making this happen every week. And please keep coming back on the show. Nicole, you guys are welcome anytime. And we should do a whole big forest bathing. We're going to do something really cool about that. There's something special about it, and being out in the woods and just noticing things and being more reconnected, than we have been. So, everyone, again, AshevilleWellnessTours.com. Keep up with Jay at SpartanPhotography.ZenFolio.com and Steve and Karen at Lion-Rose.com. Thank you all for joining us here. We'll be back next week at Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you all.
Bye.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Mark from Circus Mind, wishing you guys strength in this time of disaster and pain you're going through in Asheville. We love you. We've spent time down there. I was just down at the Moog factory last year this time. Hoping those guys are all doing all right. And we're here to support you. We're thinking about you. And here's a song that hopefully psychs you up for this huge undertaking you guys are going into. You're going to come back bigger and better than before, all of you. You're in for some tough days, but it's going to happen. So stay positive, and hopefully this psych up song, Are You Ready, will get you in the mood to get to work. Love you guys.
Are you ready for the big stuff? Are you ready for the big stuff? Now you're ready for the big stuff. Big stuff. Now you're ready for the big stuff. Now you're ready for the big stuff.
Hello everyone out there, this is John Storch from the Cravens. Having lived through numerous hurricanes myself, and being from South Florida, I deeply understand the hardships and the devastation that comes in the aftermath of such a powerful storm. To everyone who has been affected by Hurricane Helene in Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas, Tennessee, Virginia, my heart goes out to you. And so do the hearts of the members of the Cravens and my wife, Mama Gizzy, from Mama Gizzy Pasta. Your resilience in the face of such challenges is very inspiring. Times are tough right now, but hold on to your hope. Things will only get better. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's the truth. The strength and the unity of your communities will carry you through these most difficult times. And stay strong and remember that you are not alone in this, that the country is behind you. The Cravens would like to dedicate All Okay from our third album, Cravenology, which came out in 2021.
It's the end of the day, but not the end of it all. It's always tough when you get caught in a fall. It's gonna be all okay, I just know. I just gotta keep it steady as I go. It's gonna take a heat and hope, little bit of soul. Little more than what I know.
Hello, Asheville. My name is Mike Nemeth, and I'm an author who lives in Billerica, Georgia, which is about 35 miles west of Atlanta. The forecasters had predicted that Hurricane Helene would make a direct hit on our small town. So my wife and I packed our bags and prepared to flee with our rescue dog, Scout. Then the hurricane unexpectedly veered to the east, and for a moment, we rejoiced. The forecast models were wrong, and we'd been spared. Then we watched in horror as the massive storm devastated Asheville, and we realized that for every household like ours that had been saved, there were other households that had been ruined. The news reports were heartbreaking. Know that you are in our hearts and minds as you recover and rebuild your lives. Know also that we are committed to paying it forward for our good fortune, and that we support the people of Asheville in their time of need. I'd like to read you a short passage from my latest novel, A Tissue of Lies. It's a story about resilience. 14-year-old Eddie Kovacs has just caused his baseball team to lose a game, and he's devastated. He trots to the sideline where his coach and his father are waiting for him. When he was within earshot, his dad said, "You run too long in one place." Eddie wondered if that was a professional opinion, since his father was an engineer. The coach said, "Frank, not all boys are cut out to play center field." Eddie said, I had wanted to play center field simply to impress my father, and the coach had let me do it. "Wouldn't surprise me if you had to cut him," my dad said. "Well, Eddie here has one skill that will keep us on my team," the coach gripped my shoulder in a fatherly way. "Did you see that throw? All the way from the warning track to home base. Your kid's got a cannon for an arm, and I'd like to have a catcher with an arm that strong." The coach gave me an appraising look. "If he ain't afraid of the ball, that is." Catcher. The position is reserved for kids who can't run and can't hit, but are willing to demean themselves by chasing wild pitches around the backstop. But it's either play catcher or get cut from the team. "I'm not afraid of the ball, sir." That's what I wanted to hear. The coach flashed a mouthful of brown tobacco-stained teeth and gave my shoulder an encouraging smack. Then I guess you're a damn catcher, my dad said, and he walked away. The coach shrugged. Somebody's got to do the dirty work. Let's get you your equipment. I walked home alone with the tools of ignorance slung over my shoulder. When my brother, Danny, saw the catcher's gear, he said, "They always make the chubby kid play catcher." Eddie refused to be crushed by defeat. 6 weeks later in the championship game, he sacrificed that chubby body to block home plate and stop a runner from scoring. That saved the championship for his team. Now it's your turn to save the championship for your town. Godspeed, Asheville.
Hi, this is Dennis Hackler
and Steffi Moonlady Hackler.
We're sending our well wishes and support to everyone affected by Hurricane Helene.
Stay strong. Love is all. Dancers of the sky.